Jordan, he's the one when I'm performing. Crossover, buzzer beater, and I'm scoring. Rattle and Emery in the morning. Every play they on it. Every day I'm balling. Who's the coach? Who's the GOAT? Like Brady and Belichick, best show on the globe. And they embellish it. Y'all pin Ziffy, I'm Ken Griffey, or maybe Mahomes. I stay in the zone, whether man to man or play in the zone. They can't stop me. Mayweather boxing, Curry with the shot, man. We just the best to be. Can we have our SB, please? This was meant to be. Every morning with Rattle and Emery.
Yeah, man. Marques, Justin, Emery, in the morning. I'm Marques, Justin, Emery. We good?
You're good.
You're back?
You're good. I couldn't hear you for a second.
Oh, all right. Yeah, okay. All
It
right.
was my headphones. It threw me off.
Yeah, I was stressed out. I didn't know what was going on. But listen, let's do this over. You know the vibes. Bradman and Morgan, Marques, Justin, Emery. Glad to have you with us this Wednesday morning, hump day, halfway to the weekend. I got a question for you.
What's up?
When you shower, do you wash your back?
Yeah,
You wash your back?
I do. Yeah. Do you?
So I was in the shower the other day, and I was just doing my normal routine, and I had a thought. Like, when was the last time I washed my back?
I don't know.
I honestly, I don't even remember the last time I washed my back. I literally have no idea. Now, I'm assuming that there are times I just do it subconsciously. I don't even realize I'm doing it. But, like, I don't remember the last time I've actually washed my back. I don't know how it's happened.
Yeah, I mean, there used to be this guy that I worked with who he refused to. I shouldn't say refused. He just didn't wash his legs or his feet because he's like he's like I wash my upper body and like the water trickles it down. And he's like and that washes my legs. And my feet.
No, there's no trickle down economics when it comes to showering. No, you need to wash it. Yeah, that's bad. Because really what's happening is all of the dirt is coming down and onto your feet and your legs.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like he would like stand in like I guess
right.
But he's like yeah. And I just remember
because when you
like,
look in the shower when you're rinsing off, you see the dirt going.
I just remember being like
into the abyss. That's not good.
I remember telling him he was very foul.
I can excuse the back because the back is a forgotten place. The back of the neck area, I feel like neglected shower areas.
I would disagree. See, I don't know because. Like I ride the bike a lot.
Yeah.
So like I sweat a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm taking a shower, like I have sweat all down.
It's everywhere.
So I don't forget about it because I'm like, oh god, I got sweat everywhere. So I don't know. I think that you just might be lost in.
I'm a back neglector.
Yeah, you're a back neglector.
I'm a back neglector. I mean that's who I am. I don't know. I just something I thought about that I just don't typically do.
That's very. I will after the show. I'm going to pitch this. I'm going to punt this idea into my group chat and see what happens. Like,
yeah,
hey,
but like, are people going to be honest enough to say, "Wait, you know what?" Because right away, you people are going to go, "Ew, what?" But if you think about it, all of you out there, how many of you really actually consistently wash your back? Besides you.
Oh, I don't know. I guess most people.
I think I'm willing to say I feel like most people don't wash their back.
I will go
on a consistent basis.
I will disagree. I will go as far as say I believe you're in the minority.
I'm in minority.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll take that.
Yo, I'll put a poll up at the break.
We'll put a poll up at the break. Do you wash your back?
Yes. No.
But you in parentheses, I want complete honesty.
Yes.
Because you're gonna have people gonna be. They got the back shamers. Like I already feel like you're back shaming me already.
I am.
You're definitely back shaming.
I am.
So that's that.
No, maybe it's a definite.
Which is fine, but I want people to feel free to admit if they do or don't. This is a thing where, like the next thing I'm going to say also is something that's a little controversial. So I want people to feel free. Like this is a free audience. I'm not judging you. If you don't watch your back, I understand. I get it. I get it. It's okay. So we are living in a COVID world right now, where COVID is controlling every aspect of everything. There's no real escape from what we're in right now until, I'm not even gonna say the immediate future, the far away future. So, what is these faces you're making? What is happening?
This show is going in like 15 different directions right now.
It's going rogue?
Yes.
So,
and I'm here for it.
Yeah. So here's my thing. Okay. Before a COVID world, I was a pocket snack guy. Meaning
what?
A pocket snack guy. Like I kept snacks in my pocket. Like sometimes you may keep some crackers in there.
Okay.
Like some, you might have some like Ritz in the package.
Okay.
Maybe some raisins. Whatever you can have in your pocket.
I mean, I'm a big snack guy, so I support that.
So pocket snacks. Just have them around, and like you'd be near someone, maybe a friend, you'd be like, hey, would you like cracker? And they'd be like, yeah, I like cracker. Yeah, I like a raisin. In this COVID world, is pocket snacking is that a dub? Can we no longer offer pocket snacks? This is a tough one.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Like if they're protected pocket snacks, like you can't be naked pocket snacking people. That's not okay in COVID world, not COVID world.
Right.
Like people keep like nuts in their pocket and it's just like unprotected with no kind of wrapping or anything. You can't do that. I don't want that COVID or non-COVID. But if they're protected snacks, is that okay?
Like, give me an example.
Like,
are you talking about like, say you have?
So I got
like,
so let's say
snack-sized candy bars in your pocket, or are you talking like you have a whole bag of Skittles?
You can't do the candy bars because the pocket's too hot. The block is hot. You're gonna melt that, and it's gonna be gross. You don't want it. You don't want that problem. You can't go pocket Snickers in the pocket because it's too close to the heat regions.
See, here's what I gotta tell you.
Okay.
If the candy's melting in your pocket, it's been in your pocket too long.
Okay.
It doesn't.
That's fair.
My pocket snacks don't last that long. They seldom make it from their location of origin to wherever I'm sitting down to relax.
Okay. All right.
So I don't often have that issue.
Well, I'm not as big of a candy bar fan as I am more of like the Skittles type of guy, like Skittles and Sour Patches and that type of stuff.
Sour Patch watermelons are my favorite candy.
Sour
ever.
Patch are great pocket snacks. The little individual. But yeah, so like if they're like even in a Ziploc bag. Ooh, now we're getting controversial. The Ziploc, because the Ziploc is weird because it's not naked, but it's see-through, so it's revealing. It's a revealing pocket snack.
I'm probably not taking snacks from anyone.
Okay.
Unless it's coming out of the bag of origin. Like if it's in a Ziploc,
okay,
it came from somewhere else.
Yeah, but what if we did this? So, because like usually if you offered someone a snack, you would be like, "Hey, you want this?" and you would maybe reach in and give it to them. So if I pocket snack you with a Ziploc, I open the Ziploc and say, "Hey, would you like a snack?" Would you dive in, or that's still no?
We both know what my answer really is. And I want to sit here and try to tell you that I'm not going to, but we know that I'm taking the snack if it's offered to me.
But I appreciate your honesty there.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
This is back to the back issue because it's people are gonna be uncomfortable talking about pocket snacks. But I tell you what, it's a lot of people that keep snacks in their pockets.
Like if somebody. It has to be somebody I know, obviously.
Yes, it's not. But you do have, like, if you ever do public transportations, you will have that random old person that offers you like a Werther's Original out of their pocket.
Yeah, I'm good.
And back in the 80s and 90s, I'm taking it. Now, no, absolutely not. I can't do that.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm cool on that. But what are the best pocket snacks? For me, I like. You know what I like too. Now this is just. I wouldn't offer this to anyone.
What's that?
Beef jerky.
Oh,
Beef jerky is a great
I
pocket
love
snack.
beef jerky. Beef jerky is severely
underrated.
I love beef jerky.
What are they called? It's 7-Eleven has them where like they go to the counter and it's like this jar. They don't call it beef jerky. It's called something else, but it looks like beef jerky. And keep it in this jar. I think Dietz and Watson makes it. It's like something with an L, some weird word, but it tastes. It's so good. It's almost like a nice hearty beef stick. That's a great pocket snack. I used to when I was a kid. I used to put that in my pocket, get on my bike, ride to my destination, and just snack away.
I used to be a big fan of the Slim. Oh, I still am, but the Slim Jims that come with the
cheese.
The cheese.
Yes, the only way to Slim Jim. The only way to Slim Jim. Now I'll do the other way. My son actually recently become a huge Slim Jim fan.
I'll crush a whole like those little like tiny ones that are like I'll eat like half that box in one sitting.
Yeah, my son he's become a huge Slim Jim guy. So like we have a snack drawer for the kids for like when they get their snacks and stuff. So like I've been known to sneak a Slim Jim a time or two. Because he requested like, yeah, can I do a Slim Jim? I was like, yeah, all right. I'll go to snack drawer. You won't notice that one's gone or that one's gone. And then he's into like cause they do the pepperoni sticks now with the cheese.
Okay. That's
in the cold snack drawer, and I've been known to sneak a couple of those also. I'll take 3 or 4 of those to the head, no problem.
Oh yeah.
No problem. That's not a one and done snack.
Pepperoni and cheese might be my downfall.
Yeah.
I'll crush
like a cheese and crackers.
Oh yeah. If you're having a party and you have hors d'oeuvres like that,
yeah,
I don't even want your meal.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I could cheese and crackers to me can be a meal. Like I've been known
when
for,
you have like chips and dip and all. Oh, I'm eating that whole thing. I'll stand by the table too. So
just
oh, crush it.
Just don't move. Just you're that guy at the party that stands with the plate to the head into the corner and just going at it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I like it. Yeah, cheese and crackers to me is my favorite like snack that can be a meal. Like I will literally get a block of cheese like for lunch. Let's get a block of cheese, put it on a plate, sit down, get the spicy mustard out with the pepperoni, and just go in. And just go to town. It's such a pleasing snack.
If you want to really make it robust and really expand it and pretend that you are adding all the food groups, you can add broccoli into that too.
No, thank you.
You don't like broccoli?
I like broccoli, but not my cheese and crackers.
Oh no, just
have it there. Just
have it there. The thing is, like, I'll do everything you said, but then I'll also put like a thing of like ranch dipping sauce and I'll make a whole spread, and that will be the meal.
Yeah, Amber makes a great charcuterie plate. Like it just looks amazing. Like for me, like I'm a pretty good cook, but I struggle with presentation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to plate. Like, Gordon Ramsay would, like, cuss me out. Like, what is that, you mutton head? Get out of here. But, like Amber can, like, it looks literally like it came from a restaurant. Like, her nachos, bro, the best nachos I've ever had in my life.
Have you seen these videos of these nacho tables people have?
Nacho tables?
Nacho tables. I've seen the videos with my own eyes. You actually have a table here.
So you're literally talking a table of nachos.
Your table here.
Yeah.
Would be perfect for it.
Okay.
So what you do is you bring out tin foil.
Babe, are you listening? I hope you're listening right now.
You bring out tin foil. Very important. Very important. For everybody out there listening, very important. You wrap the table in tin foil.
Okay.
The actual table.
All right. I'm here. I'm with it.
Cover the whole table in nachos.
Okay.
The chips.
Yeah.
Potato chips.
I'm getting excited over here.
Okay. You make a ton of the ingredients, like the meat, all that.
Yeah.
Then at the end, this guy, or whoever makes it, but the video I saw was this guy. He had a whole crock pot of melted cheese, and he runs a lap. He runs a lap around the table, pouring the whole crock pot of cheese over the entire table. So you know how you always have the issue when you have it in the middle, and everybody's like trying to like reach.
Yeah.
Your whole table's nachos. Everybody's eating the same thing.
Oh my God, it sounds a little messy, but who cares?
The whole table's wrapped in tinfoil, though. As long as you're not spilling all over the floor,
right?
Just continuously
what you can really do is like you could towel the edges, like corner the edges with towels.
Or what you do is pick up the edge, just pick the table up and put tinfoil down on there too.
Yeah, this is amazing. I'm excited about this.
And then as it gets smaller and smaller, you consistently just push it towards the middle of the table.
Right.
And then at the end, you just roll up the tinfoil and throw it out. And you can even go and get like the industrial size tinfoil sheets. So they're, instead of it just being like 12 inches, you can get like the 24-inch sheets.
Yeah.
So you can just really make sure it's covered.
This is exciting.
You need to have a rectangular table, obviously. You can't have a circle table.
Yeah, because that's going to be too close parameters. You can literally. Now, let's work in a COVID world.
It didn't come out until a COVID world.
Ooh, it was made for a COVID world.
Yes.
All right. I'm in. I like it. Now, are you when you eat your food, are you a plate toucher? Like, are you okay with your food touching?
I don't care. I pile it together.
You pile it together?
Yes.
See, I'm a social distance plater.
No,
like all my food is segregated.
Like, I'm trying. Like we've had there's been a couple times that you and I have eaten at the same had food at the same time. But I don't think you've ever really seen how I eat. It doesn't matter.
It just doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
At all. It's just,
at all.
At all. It just goes on the plate and you just
it just gets piled in.
Just piled in.
I'm scraping. Sometimes I got 2, 3, 4 different things in the same scoop. Like it's going.
It's
going.
I respect that. I respect people like that. I can't typically do that unless it's like something that's supposed to go together. I don't like to mix it.
It's going down.
It's just happening.
It's happening.
All right.
It's funny you actually brought this up. I was thinking the other day. So years and years and years ago, first job I ever had.
Mm-hmm.
I worked at Steak and Hoagie Factory.
Well, the Steak and Hoagie Factory.
And
or used to at least.
You used to be able to get a shift meal, every shift.
Yeah.
And I would always make whatever. And after a while, you can only eat so many just cheese steaks.
Yeah, you got to get creative. Yeah.
So I was, and I love a good hoagie. I'll crush a great hoagie.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I was like, all right, let me go over here. Now this kind of gross. And looking back on it, it was gross. I don't know why I ate it, but I created my own sandwich.
Well, let's hear
it. Turkey. Oh, so it had pepper jack cheese.
In.
Turkey.
In.
Tuna salad.
I'm out. You've gone too far. What is tuna salad doing near turkey and pepper jack?
Let me continue.
Okay, keep going.
Pickles.
Okay.
Onions, lettuce.
All right.
I don't like tomato, so
I'm not huge. I hear you.
Like I don't dislike tomato.
If it's on there, I'll eat it, but I'll never request it.
Yeah, if I have the option to remove tomato, I'll always remove tomato. And then oregano and a side of hot peppers.
Okay.
Oh, and here's where it gets really bad.
Where it gets bad?
Yeah, all that sounds actually really good to me. Like, I'd eat that right now. But here's where it gets really bad.
Okay.
This is the part that is what made me realize 14-year-old me had even worse food takes than I do right now.
Okay.
Also put Cheese Whiz on it.
Ew. No, that's too. I mean, you probably had a trip to the bathroom immediately 45 minutes later.
Oh, I ate.
There's no way in the world that stayed in your body longer than 45 minutes. There's no way.
I ate that thing all the time.
It's just, first of all, I'm just picturing this, and it's just a mess. It's just things flying everywhere.
It was.
Like, were you eating this in front of customers when you were walking in? Welcome to Steak and Hoagie Factory. I help you.
No, I was
flying everywhere.
No, I'd sit in the back and eat it.
Okay, yeah,
that's
definitely a lone sandwich.
I did order it a couple times when I was off.
And then had someone make it for you.
I had someone make it for me, to the point that they said things to me over the phone I can't repeat on the air about that sandwich.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, steak. See,
the thing is, they also knew who I was.
Yeah,
right. They knew who I was.
Right.
But, yeah.
But the thing is too, there's sometimes food shamers over there. The one I used to go to, because I'm a double meat man. I like meat. I like meat on my sandwiches.
Right.
And the reason why I say double meat on every sandwich, because I'm not confident you're going to give me enough meat.
That's fair.
So I'd rather have too much meat than too little meat. I get really upset when I don't have double meat on my sandwiches. So I double meat everything. So I do cheeseburger hoagies a lot. Because cheeseburger hoagie is everything about a hoagie, but expanded.
So we're talking about steak and hoagie, right?
Yes.
So it's funny you mentioned that. I had a friend of mine that I went to high school with that used to swear that the best thing that steak and hoagie had was their cheeseburger hoagie.
Facts
That's
only.
Interesting.
Facts only. Cheeseburger hoagies. That's like, and it's weird because some places don't have it on the menu. Like I've called places and I'm like, yo, can I get a cheeseburger hoagie? And they're like, what is that? I'm like,
interesting.
It's just cheeseburger with condiments, and it's a long roll. But if you think about it, it's everything about a cheeseburger just expanded and more of it. So obviously, since it's a long roll, I gotta double meat it. I got an argument with the guy on the phone because I order it all the time. Because I was the one down in Warminster. I basically had stock in that company. I ate there so much. Like I was there because that was like the after hour spot where everyone would go after.
I think it's still 24 hours.
Yeah, it was after the bars we go there, and then it was like once, twice during the week, whatever. Like I was on a first name basis. Well, it was a new guy that started. He got in an argument with me about like he couldn't fit all the meat on a sandwich. I was like, bro, why are we even? I asked you to do something that I'm going to pay you to do. Why are we discussing with you and having a conversation with you about how you can do this? I don't care how you do it. Just
Figure it
do
out.
Figure it out. Like.
If it's overflowing, it's overflowing.
Right,
Like it is what it is.
Exactly.
I'll figure it after you get it wrapped. After you get it wrapped up, then it becomes my problem.
Right, exactly.
Just get it wrapped up.
And he was like mad. Like he was like, "Well, I just don't know how. Like, do you realize that's like 4 burgers?" I was like, "I don't care how many it is. I asked you to do something that I'm paying you to do. Just do it. Like, why are we having a conversation? This shouldn't be a dialogue. Just do it. Like." I am from the school that the customer's always right. Whatever I request of you, you need to carry out if I'm going to pay you to do it. You work for, as soon as I call and you say, "Can I take your order?" You now work for me for that 5 minutes. I'm your boss. I want that sandwich. I don't care what you have to do. Just make it happen.
I get so annoyed when I order food and it's not right.
Oh my god. Oh yeah. You're preaching the choir here. Yeah. I mean. There's been times
I wouldn't go and fight someone over food, but like it's.
I'm about to tell you a story.
Like the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Yes.
I would not fight someone in a drive-through over that sandwich, but it is really, really, really good.
Yeah, it is.
I won't fight you if my food's wrong, but I probably will curse you out.
Yeah.
And I will make fun of you to all of my friends about how dumb you are.
Yes, it gets. Well, here's where it gets. Like if I'm at a restaurant and I have a waiter and something is not right, I'm much more patient than I am at a drive-through, because the drive-through is a disadvantage for me if you got my order wrong, because now my order is wrong and I noticed it. I'm probably, first of all, I'm not a person. I don't go through, like, my mom is notorious for this. My mom will sit at the window and go through every item in the bag to make sure it's right before she pulls off. And she requests super weird stuff. Like, my mom's like, "Can I have a chicken sandwich with no mayo on it? Don't toast the bun. I want the bun on the side." Like, just really weird. I'm like, "Mom, they're going to I, like, hide my head when I'm with her in drive-thru because it's just no drive-thru etiquette at all. Like, "Mom, just take the bun off of the mayo. Like, what are you doing?" But, like, so she takes out everything. Will look right there. I'm not that courageous because I know there's people behind me. I want to get out of there. So
I just make sure that I have all the items. Like
yeah,
I'll
do like a feel.
I'll pop it open real quick and be like, "All right, I ordered like 3 things. All right, there's 3 things in there. All right, fine."
Okay, yeah. So I don't usually even do unless there's someone with me and they can do that as we're driving. I don't look till I get home.
No, I had a bad drive-through experience, and that's why. I do this.
Well, I want to hear that.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
So
get in there.
I was driving from. This was back. When was this? I was driving from Vegas back to Pennsylvania. I don't remember exactly when it was, but at some point in time I was driving back. At some point in time.
Yeah.
And I was passing. It was in Grand Junction, Colorado. Okay, so I've been driving, and for anybody that's ever driven along I-70, there's not very many places to stop. So when you have the chance to stop, you do it.
Yeah.
So I stopped there. It was right around lunchtime, so I was like, all right. There was this place that I had gotten food at one time when I was driving out there. I was like, that's pretty good. I'll go back there and just get it again. No. First off, my food sucked. Secondly, I had my dog with me.
Yeah.
So I ordered a 3-piece chicken tender for him.
Okay.
Just the food, just the chicken, not the whole meal.
Right.
Dude's been in the car for like 7 hours. He deserves some chicken.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
he didn't sign for this.
Yeah, he didn't sign for it.
Right.
He deserves some chicken.
Mm-hmm.
So I look in the bag. I have my food and the sauce for the chicken.
Mm-hmm.
No chicken. But I'd already
What?
pulled away.
Yeah. See here.
So
here it is.
So I loop back around. Hey, I was just here. I ordered my food, blah, blah, blah. I told him what it was. I was like, I have the receipt. She's like, oh, sorry, pull up. She's like, they hand me a bag with just chicken. Boom, pull away. I open it up. I have pictures. I kid you not. There was 1 piece of chicken in there.
No.
1 piece of chicken. So now I pull around. Now I'm mad.
Now you're all right. Yeah.
And I pull down the window, And she's like, "Can I take your order?" I said, "No. Put the manager on the microphone right now." Some woman comes out the side door. She's like, "What's the problem?" I was like, "Lady, I've been driving for 7 hours. I don't want to yell at you, but now I'm mad. This is for my dog. He's been in the back seat. I'm going to pull over here, eat this food. By the time I'm done, you better have his full meal done." She walked it over to me and handed it to me.
As she should.
And she was like, "I'm sorry." I was like, "Yeah, whatever." I grabbed it and I just threw it in the passenger seat and rolled my window back up.
It's just, it's just.
Like, how do you screw up?
It's just no excuse.
And then people don't, but I took pictures of it because I was like, how dumb can, and here's the thing that is. I was the only customer. Nobody else was there the whole cycle of all this.
Yeah,
like, I didn't have to wait to come through again at all.
Yeah, that's the thing is, it's such a simple task. Just follow directions. And you have a giant computer telling you what I just ordered. What is it like?
She's like, "Does it look right on the screen?" I'm like, "Yeah, looks great."
Yeah.
How do you screw that up?
Not in my bag. It doesn't look good in my bag right now. But, yeah, so that's my problem is I go home.
And the chicken was petrified. Luckily, he didn't care.
Yeah, he's whatever. But, I go home and then I look and now I'm mad because I have to drive back. And then I have to have
I won't leave the facility.
Yeah, see,
without checking. I'll leave the drive-through. I'll pull it. I'll leave. Yeah. I won't leave like their parking lot though until I know it's right.
Well, long story short, I had to go on two trips back and forth to the establishment to get my food. They were wrong twice. I had to drive back twice. Amber had to stop me from jumping the counter. Like, that's where I was. I was on jump the counter mode. Like, I was like, I'm gonna go to prison over a Baconator. This is happening. But we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into the 76ers for a minute. I want to talk a little bit about last night's games and something I saw, and that's opened up a conversation about the point guard. We're back to that again. It's Brad and Emery. It's Marques, Brad, and Justin Emery. We will be right back. Hi, I am Marques Brad. I'm here to talk to you about Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is family-owned and dedicated to the product of premium quality gourmet ice cream and sorbet. Made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road, Warminster, and is open year-round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let our friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time. Yeah, man. Welcome back. Brad Emery in the morning. Marques, Brad, Justin, Emery.
Yo.
So, okay, the Sixers. Let's talk about that.
So they got booted yesterday. I couldn't even watch them.
Say it again.
They got booted off of the broadcast yesterday.
Where?
Off of Hulu. I stream it through Hulu Live. They got booted off of Hulu Live because of the fact that it had become completely irrelevant between the two teams.
I blame Adam Silver.
Absolutely.
He probably did.
I mean, it was literally friend of the show Twitty texted me yesterday and goes, they kicked the Sixers game off the stream. He texted me, and the one that alerted me of that.
Well, it was a wild game.
An hour before the game.
It was actually pretty entertaining.
You know what I'm frustrated about?
What's that?
I thought about putting a wager down on Embiid to go high on points, and I'm mad I didn't.
46 for the big guy.
45 and 16.
45-16, yeah.
On the heels of him going 16-6 in the first half yesterday.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, on Monday.
I mean, you see that. I mean, real quick with him, you already see the difference of the type of shape he's in now, and how beneficial it is to him, and what he's able to do because his motor has drastically improved, which you needed from him. But I want to talk about Ben Simmons for a minute because I am at a crossroads with him. So before the season started, going into the season, when all the Harden Simmons stuff were being talked about, before all the trades, before Daryl Morey, I was saying, not before Daryl Morey, before the trades, I was saying I am on board with him being traded because right now, if you keep this team the way it is now, he just doesn't make sense here because he needs more shooters around him to play the type of game he wants to play. You know, Joe can't keep up his pace, all of that, blah, 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 blah. So Harden makes more sense here now. Then after that, when all the trades happened, we get Seth Curry, you get Danny Green. I'm like, okay, I think this might work because now you're surrounding the guy with better shooters. There's more spacing for him to drive and do what he likes to do. And his scoring isn't as important because assists are points. They're not coming from that player, but they're still points. So if that's how he wants to play, okay, that works. Get off to a great start. They're 7-1. They're cruising along, and then the world crashes down. They get COVID. Seth's out. Toby's out. Shake Milton's out. They're basically everyone's gone. He comes back last night, and you're playing a Heat team that's been devastated also by COVID. That they're depleted. They don't have all their guys. So you have your two top guys. So you're thinking, and the Sixers I think were opened up like a -9.5 last night, -8.5, -9.5, somewhere in that range.
I think it was a -8.5.
Yeah, so somewhere in that range. So you're thinking they should cruise to a win, and they struggled. But one of the reasons why they struggled is directly because of Ben Simmons. He wasn't able to read the room last night and be like, okay, yeah, that game works when I have Toby and Seth and Shake and, but I don't have those guys today. I have, Mathis and Joe, and no disrespect to those guys. They actually played pretty well, but they're not those guys. So he wasn't seeing that, you know what? Joe's going to need my help tonight. Ben Simmons only took 2 shots last night. He fouled out. Three of those fouls were offensive fouls of him just basically running into people because the Heat were a team. The Heat's they're built a little differently. They play a playoff game every night. They play a game. They play their basketball games like a playoff game where they're not afraid to step in front of him and say, no, we're not just going to let you just drive down the throat. It's not happening. So he didn't know. He literally was lost at that point because he hasn't really developed anything else. Like for Ben Simmons, it's either I drive to the basket, I kick out for a 3, the end. Now, those things are usually pretty effective on most nights because most guys aren't willing to step in and take a charge from him. And a lot of times, because you had better shooters there, he's usually able to create more scoring opportunities for others. But here's my question. I'm going to bring Tyrese Maxey into the conversation right now.
Okay.
because Tyrese Maxey has kind of changed again how I feel about trading Ben Simmons. My biggest problem with trading Ben Simmons was I was more looking at not this year or next year, but what about 3 or 4 or 5 years down the road? What does that look like when James Harden is no longer peak James Harden, and now you have a guy that he's probably still producing, but maybe not the same clip that he was, last year or this year or the year before, in that, ridiculous 35 points a game and that type of guy. But Tyrese Maxey has kind of changed that narrative for me a little bit because, he's been getting a lot more playing time, obviously, with everyone being out because of COVID. And you can just see, how good he's going to be. He is going to be a really, really good basketball player. And he already right now, and one of the, a big component of being great at anything is you can't be afraid. That kid has no fear in his body at all. He is a willing shot taker and a willing shot maker. And he can create his own shot. He's, quick as lightning. His passing's a little work, but I'm okay with that because he's an absolute assassin. He wants the ball. He's not afraid to shoot the ball. And, he against the Nuggets in that game where the Sixers had 3 players, he put up 39, which is the only other Sixers rookies to do that were Hal Greer and Allen Iverson. If you're mentioned in any kind of records with Allen Iverson as a rookie, you're doing something right. And so now I'm not as worried about the future as I was, after, when we were talking about the trade a month ago. Because now I look at the future, I see Maxey, I see Milton, and I say, I think we'll be okay. And here's the major question, and listen, I am in no way, and you know this, am a Ben Simmons hater. I love Ben Simmons. I appreciate what he does do well. But I worry that, you go to the playoffs, he can have a game like he had last night. He's had games like that before where you literally, there was a joke 2 years ago when they played the Nets to play the first round. Someone on Twitter, game 1 where Ben Simmons basically wasn't there. It's everyone's out here playing an NBA playoff game. Ben Simmons out here doing cardio. That's really what it was. He was just running back and forth really, really fast. And it's he has games where he's not there. And a team that's, a championship contender, you can't have a guy that just is not there. And that's why I worry about with him is it's defensively, yeah, he's always gonna be elite defender. He's always gonna be elite passer. But we need more than that, right? Don't we need more than that? I just don't feel that ultimately if he doesn't become a willing scorer and a guy you can count on night and night to give you 20, I don't know how he benefits this team. And again, I go back to Tyrese Maxey. I'm not as afraid of letting Ben go because of him. So, I'm going to bring you in now, and where are you at with this whole situation?
So I posed a question years ago, and I said if it came down to it,
yeah,
would you choose Embiid or would you choose Simmons? If you had to choose, you can only pick one.
Right.
You had to choose.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward 3 years later, we might be at that crossroad.
Yeah.
Now, there's I'm trying to figure out the right sequence to reveal this. So, Simmons was the number 1 overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
When you're drafted in the top 3 in the NBA, you should have superstar to Hall of Fame potential.
Correct.
If you're drafted in the top 3 to 5 picks.
Correct.
And then I'd say in the top 6 to 12, you should have above average to fringe all-star ability.
Yes. You should 6 to 12, I believe it's a 7 to 10 year career. 2 to 3 All-Star teams.
Yeah, you should be a major contributor to a team. You might
like a Tobias Harris.
Yeah. He's not a number 1 overall pick right now. And there's a difference between all-star and superstar.
Correct.
And he's an all-star
Mm-hmm.
that thinks he's a superstar.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want James Harden right now. And first off, I never wanted James. I didn't want James Harden. I didn't want you to trade Ben Simmons for James Harden. Like, if you're going to move Ben Simmons, he's not the guy I'm choosing to bring him in for. Now, I'm not opposed to moving Simmons, just not for James Harden. Especially
based on what's going on now, or
no,
just
in overall. I'm not really a fan of James Harden. Like, I'm not a fan of the way he plays. Like, I understand, like, he's a scoring machine.
Nor am I.
Like, I understand he's a scoring machine, but and everybody that thinks him and Embiid are great fits, I disagree. I don't think that they're great fits.
Well, I'd like to hear that, but we're going to talk about Harden a little bit. But back to Ben, yeah.
And then, and then on top of that, everything that comes with James Harden, I'm not a fan of either. Because he's I know we're going to be getting into this guy later on, but he's a more toned down version of Kyrie.
Kyrie Light?
Yes.
Diet Kyrie?
So, I would be very much open to moving Simmons for the right player. And I wasn't that way coming into the season. But if you're not going to shoot, I'm out. I don't care.
Yeah, and that's
I don't care what else you do, how
right.
good I mean, I think he had 12 rebounds yesterday. Or I'm sorry, 12 assists. So he's always, like you said, he's always going to be a great assist.
Yeah.
He can fall down backwards into 10 and 10 as far as assists and rebounds go. Like, if he wants to get
right.
Like he's so what's really annoying about him is there's only a handful of players like this. But he's one of the guys that if he goes onto the court and says, I think I'm going to get a triple-double tonight.
Yeah.
He will get a triple-double.
Right.
There's only 5 to 8 people in the league that if I'm going to go get triple-double.
Right.
He's one of them. And perhaps the easiest one to get is the one you worry most about points. Like, for example, if you're looking at betting and you're like, oh, I bet Ben Simmons, I wonder if he can get a triple-double. Oh, it's a great line. Which one are you worried about him not getting?
The points. Yeah, that's the one you're stressed out about. And when you draft a guy typically 1 through 3, yeah, potential obviously is always in the equation. But usually as you've seen greatness.
And you expect the thing is when you're drafted that high, you have a level of expectation. Like
yeah.
You're expected
right.
to turn around a franchise.
Absolutely. And he was drafted, I believe, strictly on potential because at LSU there was not really much you saw that said that's greatness. Like there was you just look at him and he's 6'8", 6'9".
I think he's bigger than that.
Maybe 6'10". He's a gazelle. Like he moves so fluidly. Like
it looks like he never gets tired.
Right. He gets to the basket so effortlessly. Immediately there were comparisons to LeBron James.
And really, up until this year, really didn't have a health concern.
Right. And LeBron.
And even this, I mean, I don't see him as injury prone anyway.
No, not at all. And LeBron James has taken him, in the early stages, under his wing, and kind of try to mold him into that guy. Like LeBron said early on that he thought Ben Simmons would be better than him. I don't see that now.
No.
I don't see, because we're 4 years in? He was 2016 draft? So he didn't play 2016?
I think it's more than that.
I'm pretty sure it's 4 years. I think Ben was drafted in 2016. You can look that up.
I'll look it up.
I think it's 2016.
Well, this is his what? Is this his 4th year playing here?
Yes,
so
but I think it's his 3rd actual year.
No.
Playing.
I think this is his
maybe
fourth
his 4th year
playing.
So 5.
Because he obviously missed his first year, so I think he's been 5 years.
Yeah, look that up for me real quick.
Right.
But I think it's 2016, but I could be wrong. It could be 2015. But yeah. So when he was drafted, it was based on potential, and now in year 4 or 5, wherever we are, we're kind of still seeing the same things. Like we're seeing the same stuff. Like we're not seeing, anything like new, like with him. And
his game never develops.
Like consistently new. Like he'll tease us every once in a while. He'll shoot a 3, once every 5-6 games maybe, and he'll shoot 1, and then we won't see it again for a while. Then he'll have a night where he scores 28 randomly, and then we won't see that again for a while. Like you need, as the second best player on the team, you need him to be a willing scorer. He has to be a willing scorer. It just doesn't work. And that's why, again, I go back to what I was saying earlier, is that, like, I am now at the point where I am okay with him being gone.
So we're both correct.
Okay.
It was the 2016 draft, but it is still also his 5th year. 4th year playing.
Gotcha.
5th year with the team.
Gotcha. So, I need him to be, and now I'm okay. Here's my biggest fear. I'll tell you my fear. The reason why I was hesitant, and the reason why I've been hesitant about trading him, is because my fear is that he goes somewhere else and becomes the guy who's supposed to be here.
Yeah,
I think
I agree.
I think everybody has that, where, like, I don't want to watch him in a different uniform putting up 26, 13 every night, like all of a sudden out of nowhere. That would drive me crazy. And honestly, the thing that's frustrating about him,
but I don't think,
is I feel like he would take personally being traded from here.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden become a psychopath.
I agree, and that's what
He's
really annoys me.
He's that type of person, and that's not fair, because, like, that shouldn't be that way. We should be able to motivate you here. Now, I believe this year, and it's unfortunate. I think this year, it's the best relationship Ben and Joe have ever had. Like, I see them on the court communicating more than they ever have. I see them in, the pick and roll actions, and them actually kind of looking out for each other on the court, and actually speaking about each other on and off the court, which is something, it's weird to say this, but I feel like in the first 5 years, they really didn't talk much about each other off the court, and you really didn't see much communication on the court. I feel like you see more at this time now than ever. However, if you're only taking 2 shots in an NBA game where you have none of your other shooters around, and, like,
this is the perfect time for him to just rain threes.
Right. Just shoot
Who
the
cares
ball.
if you miss? Do you know how many 3-pointers I've missed in my life?
We continue to take them.
Just shoot them.
Just put them up. Yeah, shoot the shot. But I don't know. Like, it's frustrating with me with him, because, like, I want it to be a thing here. I want Ben and Joe to work. I want him to reach his potential here. I just don't see how. And I want to get into the Harden conversation on the other side of the break. I want to talk about what happened last night with them in Houston. They're a mess. But
I don't want that guy at all on this team.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree, but we could talk about that on the other side. I mean, I think it actually could benefit you in the short term. But yeah, like, it's a situation right now is with me. I look at this now as an issue that's going to play out over the next couple months, because, I don't see any trades happening right now. So this is going to be a deadline situation. But the Sixers are going to have to – this is going to be the first year I think the Sixers have to make a real decision about Ben Simmons' deadline. Like, what are we doing here? And if anyone's going to pull the trigger on this, is Daryl Morey, because he ain't scared.
I'd move him, but there's only a handful of players I'd move him for.
So let's talk about that on the other side.
Right.
Who players that you would move him for, and then we'll talk a little Harden.
I mean, like, there's guys that you move him for that you won't get.
Right.
But
right.
There's
realistic. Let's do the realistic ones.
Yeah.
Because obviously, Luka Doncic. I want Luka, but that's never happening. Mark Cuban's gonna never let that happen. But all right, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna continue this NBA conversation, getting to Harden, getting to the Sixers trading Ben Simmons, and a little Kyrie Irving also, and checking in on that foolishness.
Yes, sir.
Brad and Emery in the morning. Marcus, Brad, and Justin Emery. We'll be right back.
Hey, guys, don't forget to check out our friends over at Conchaca Italian Bakery, conchibakery.com. Check them out online. Roll over there at 79 Jones Street. Go over there, get some bread, some rolls, some desserts, and the tomato pie. Can never go wrong with that, no matter what the occasion is, whether you just want to grab some for lunch, you got a party to celebrate, or whatever it is. Go over there, conchibakery.com, 79 Jones Street. Make sure you tell them that Justin sent you.
Yes, sir. Welcome on home. Brad in the morning. Marques, Brad, Justin Emery. Talking a little Ben Simmons, as usual, around the conversation around here is keep him or dump him. And,
Dump 'em.
yeah, I mean, and I'm back kind of in that camp again just for the fact that, like, I just don't see this getting any better. And, I feel, like I said, I feel a lot better about the situation knowing that Tyrese Maxey's on our team. And I think that he is going to be a really, really good NBA player. And, Shake Milton is improving. Like, the thing that's frustrating, I've already, like, you see the jump from Shake Milton last year to Shake Milton this year. He did things to improve himself. He put on a little weight, put on a good 15 pounds, and he added things to his game that he didn't have last year. You see him, he's got a little tougher, he's got more confidence. That's what I don't see year to year with Ben Simmons. He comes back the same guy. Like, you see the video.
That was one of the biggest knocks against him, though, is that he never improves his game.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just, it's not as frustrating as the Eagles.
No.
But it's pretty
frustrating. Though. Yeah, it is, yes. Because you keep psyching yourself
they're
up.
so like they should have a championship by now.
Yeah, they should have been in the finals by now.
I'll go that far.
Yeah,
they should have at least been in the final. Like it's so close.
2 years ago, they should have been in the finals. They should have never lost that series to Toronto. I still have nightmare about Game 4. Game 4 shouldn't, like, that was the game when they lost that series. You're up 2-1. You blow them out, and then you could put your foot in their neck, and then Joe gets sick. As Joe gets sick, Toby misses a wide open 3 in the corner to put you up 6, and then Kawhi happens, and then now you're 2-2 going back to Toronto instead of 3-1 going back to Toronto with a chance to close out Game 6 at home, and then go on because I believe they go to the finals if they win that game. But so I want to talk about James Harden a little bit, and before we talk about the mess that's created out there, it's absolute mess, and we have some clips we're gonna play. We have some clips we're gonna play regarding that, but what is going on with him with me is that, like, I'm gonna be firm with this. I don't like his game. It's not for me. I don't like the idea of not looking to score but looking to get fouled. That's not how I grew up playing the game. I'm sure a lot of you listening out here is not how you grew up playing the game, not how you grew up watching the game. However, just because I don't like it doesn't mean it doesn't work. It's obviously extremely effective. And he is, I mean, I think it's no debate that he's one of the top 5 to 10 scorers we've ever seen in the NBA. And, the scores he's averaging is legendary. And honestly, too, it's a misconception he doesn't pass either because he averages like 7 assists a year. So he does pass the ball. And I think he would work nicely with Joe just based off pick and roll action alone. Now, I don't think he would play the exact same game in Houston he plays here because, like, I feel like that's what they've kind of asked him to do. And, like, they've also created an environment there, and you're seeing it play out in Houston where they've just basically allowed him to do whatever he wanted. Like, the stuff that's coming out about him now, about how he basically runs that organization, is insane. Like, he has, his own, he's flying in between games to go party in, Vegas or wherever. And, he's basically showing up to practice whenever he wants and like, all sorts of situations like that. But that's a situation that Houston created. That doesn't have to be our situation here. We don't have to, we can come in with a new set of rules and set of guidelines. And honestly, based on everything that he's pulling in Houston, trying to get out of there, it puts a spotlight on him to be on his best behavior at the next stop. Because then you start getting a reputation of a guy that this is just who you are. This wasn't about, he's saying right now, I want to win. And I don't see that happening here. And that's kind of where he's at. He wants to leave. Even though they've tried to put pieces around him, it just didn't work. But I also, too, to his defense, I never thought the pieces they put around him were the right pieces.
Right.
Like, Dwight Howard never made sense. Chris Paul didn't make sense. You're putting a ball-dominant guy with a ball-dominant guy. Russell Westbrook totally didn't make sense. Russell Westbrook's not a knockdown shooter. He didn't make sense either. So you got ball dominant. It doesn't make any sense. So, I feel like that they put pieces that never really truly fit him, And I feel like the pieces fit him here. You got shooters. You got a big man that can score. You got defenders around him. It all is a system that really could work really well. And he's a guy that, in the last 2-3 ends of the game, you got to pay attention to him. So him and Embiid in the pick and roll last 2 minutes game would be terrifying. And then you got shooters, like I said, you got Toby out here who now has become a willing shooter. Seth is Seth. And then Danny Green. And then so you got guys around him that can. So I really believe that here it could work. So, right now it's a dumpster fire in Houston. Absolute dumpster fire.
I agree.
So last night, if you weren't paying attention, Houston played the Lakers, and they're in the middle of one of those little series with them. Lakers were up 43-19, like mid-first quarter. And it was never competitive. The Houston got stomped out. So James Harden is now really at a point now where he's ready to talk. So this is him after the game last night.
I mean, this situation is crazy. It's something that I don't think can be fixed. So, yeah, thanks.
Thanks, James. So that's kind of where he's at now, where he is publicly going after the organization. Like things have kind of been leaked out, and he hasn't really said much. He's done more of his actions where, not really taking anything too seriously with the team this year. But it's a mess now because now you got John Wall out there who was traded. And John Wall is, he went there like with a pretty positive attitude, ready to win.
I mean, he hasn't played basketball in 2 years.
Right, so he's ready to go. So John Wall ain't scared, apparently, and he's speaking out also. This is him after last night's game.
At the end of the day, a lot of guys here want to compete at a high level. And like I told everybody tonight, and I told the guys before, when the 1 through 15 guys all on the same page and they commit, they know their role, they know what they want to do, they know what they want to get out of this, that's the win, you all will be fine. But when you have certain guys in the mix that don't want to buy in all as one, it's going to be hard to do anything special, do anything good as a basketball team. I've been on those teams in my 11 years been in the league. I've been on a team like that my first 5 years where it was all about me, not about the team, and that hurts. And it brings everybody down. So when we can get all on the same page, we can be something good here. And we can't dwell down on it because it's only been 9 games. Like, come on, man. You want to jump off the cliff off of 9 games? There's a lot of basketball still be played.
So what's practice going to look like on the next day?
James probably wasn't there.
Right. So, yeah, it's a mess over there. And we're at the top of the hour, so we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to address that and then get into Kyrie. Brad in the morning, Marques, Brad, Justin Emery. We will be right back. Yeah, man. Welcome back. Brian Emery in the morning. Marques, Brian, Justin Emery.
Yo.
So before we went to break, we played a couple clips of a disgruntled James Harden and a befuddled John Wall.
Yes.
Because things are just imploding. And poor Steve Silas. Like, this is his first NBA coaching job. He's been waiting for 20 years for this opportunity. And this is what happens. This is what I have to deal with my first year. I have to answer questions about why James Harden's fat. Why does he smell like?
Yo, to take a line from Stephen A. Smith, Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah. Why is there glitter in his beard when he shows up to work? Why is this happening to me?
We got the first hour results for the poll.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What we got?
100% feedback so far as people watch their backs.
Liars. I don't believe it. I think people are.
I told you, you're in the minority. You were definitely in the minority.
Okay. All right. I'll take that on the chin. I've exposed myself as a non-backwasher. Don't back shame me. So
we'll revisit it right at the end of the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
To see what the final tally is. But so far,
100%.
we have a 100%.
We wash our backs.
Yes.
I don't want to talk about it.
And I didn't even pose it in a way that
in a defamatory way.
Yeah. All I said was.
Do you wash your back?
No, I said, be honest. Do you wash your back regularly when you shower?
Okay.
That's fair. A 100% yes came back.
All right. So things are bad. Things are really bad out there. They're really bad, and we know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta hit you. I gotta hit you with the breaking news.
Breaking news.
Stephen A. is reporting that James Harden is doing everything within his power to push himself to be back with Daryl Morey.
That's just getting a huge smile on my face. Tell me more.
Quote, the ball is in Daryl Morey's court. If he wants to get James Harden, he can get James Harden.
Well, listen, if, as we stay focused on that conversation,
I'm sorry,
you just blew me away there.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mess you up.
So here's the deal. Like, after last night, this would be the perfect time. This is the perfect justification to trade him.
Yeah.
Right now, after last night. And again, I am at the point now where what else can we do? What else can we do to help this guy and help this guy reach his full potential? Like what else can be said? What else can be done? We can't do anything else for you. And maybe that's what he needs, and maybe that's what we need. Maybe it's mutually beneficial. But we were talking about Houston before, and it's obvious because James Harden, even what he said yesterday, that comment he made yesterday in the press conference we just played, where he literally just said, "Listen, I'm paraphrasing here, obviously, but it basically was saying I don't want to be here. I'm out. Thank you. I'm gonna go to the club."
Here's the thing, though, is I don't how would John Wall and Ben Simmons work though?
They probably that team. You would have to.
I understand that's not our problem,
right?
But if you're looking at that from Houston's standpoint,
right,
those two pieces don't fit together.
They don't. But what Houston's like, to quote Kendrick Perkins, we're not going to trade a Rolls Royce for F-150. Like, we're not going to. We want something. So again, it's people are still holding on to this Ben Simmons potential and what he could possibly be. And that's the best thing.
Not even talking about possibility. Right now, those pieces don't fit together.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. So they're holding on the potential of what he could be, but you're going to have to, if you get Ben Simmons, you're going to have to completely rethink how you do your team. It have to change completely. And John Wall will probably be one of those casualties. Because, they don't work.
Tillman Fertitta's not going to do that.
I mean, he should. He's going to have to.
He won't do that. No, and I'm not saying that he's not going to trade for. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is he's not the type of owner who wants to rebuild his friend. Like you said, you have to redo how you do if you get Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to do that.
Well, here's why this is
so
bad.
I don't think that James Harden. And we're taking Stephen A. There's still 25 other teams that would probably trade for James Harden.
Yes, but they don't have the assets.
I mean,
they don't have what the Houston wants, and also too where he wants to go.
Does he even know trade clause?
No, but
So then, what does that matter?
but he could. But the thing is, though, it matters because his contract I think expires 2 years. So if he's not going to renew, these teams aren't going to want to trade for him.
Well, that's not entirely true. It all depends upon what they're willing to compensate. What if it's a team like I'm trying to think of a team that's like on the fringe that Toronto. I feel like their window is just about done.
Yeah, but I agree with you.
So like, what if they did what they did with like a Kawhi? They traded for him. What if they can get another chip with James Harden and all of them up there, and then it doesn't matter. And what if it's enough compensation to justify only having him for 2 years? Because all you need to do is have Houston say yes to whatever you offer.
Yeah, of course.
You don't have to. Everybody's thinking out here that this is a crazy price tag. What if, and we don't know, the price tag is much lower than we think it is?
Yeah. Well, I think Toronto, personally, if you're using them as an example, they're trying to just get through this year. But they're not even in Toronto right now. Or Orlando.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying,
right.
like,
No, I understand what you're saying.
a team that's on the fringe.
Yeah.
That is like, if we just put him in, like, they were on the fringe, got Kawhi, won a chip.
But here's the problem. Here's what Houston's saying. Houston's they're not looking for those type of assets. They don't want draft picks. They don't want, like a guys who maybe rotation guys. Like, because usually, I always say about superstar, usually when you trade a superstar, you don't get proper value. It's just usually nearly impossible to do that. Like, most superstar trades never work out for a team that trades a superstar. It just doesn't. Well, Houston is trying to even those odds and say, listen, you want him, we want your best. You're not going to give us trash for James Harden.
I'm not trading my best for James Harden when he's 31, about to be 32, out here looking like Big Worm. Okay? I'm not trading my best for that.
Yeah. Well,
am I wrong?
No,
am I wrong?
You're not wrong, but I'm going to throw this back at you. Is Ben Simmons your best?
I don't think so.
So, like, if they said, here,
But
let's
feel
do,
like
I'm going to propose 2 trades for you. Here's what I'm going to do. 2 trades. Embiid, Green, and Curry for Harden.
No.
Or, exactly. Or Simmons, Thibault, Korkmaz for Harden.
Still no.
What?
The thing is, I don't want James Harden.
Yeah, you're out on. Okay, so let's talk about that. Why do you feel he's not a good fit here?
Number one, I'm not trading. Now, is he better than Simmons? We're not. That's not a debate. I'm not trading 24-year-old Ben Simmons for 31, almost 32-year-old James Harden. That is a huge piece of it.
But for you, like I was saying earlier, doesn't the Maxey situation help with that?
Because now you're moving Ben Simmons just for the sake of moving Ben Simmons, and I'm not on board with that.
I'm going to need you to elaborate.
So you're saying Maxey gives you the ability to trade Simmons, and in this scenario, it's Harden.
Right.
I don't want Harden. If I'm trading Simmons, it's for somebody else. Maxey gives me that comfortability to where I'll trade Simmons, but it's not for Harden.
So why are you? You said earlier too, you don't believe Harden and Embiid work together. Why? Yeah. Why do you think that's not a thing?
Because they both need, like, Embiid is at his most effective when he is getting fed the ball, and just being a monster down low.
Right.
James Harden needs volume shooting.
Right.
I foresee a point in time where they're butting heads because we don't know if Embiid and Simmons butt heads behind the scenes over Embiid's offensive game. We're not there at practice.
I don't think so because Ben doesn't want to shoot. He doesn't care.
But what if he was shooting, missing, but like it also combines with this is Embiid's team. Like Harden's not coming in here and it's now Harden's team. Like this is still Embiid's team.
Right.
What does it? What happens when Harden's shooting, 6 for 23, and not playing defense, and the Sixers are down by 15?
You're gonna have nights for like that, but the trade-off is Harden going for 40 on 7 consecutive nights.
But I think that you're more likely to get my scenario than yours.
I disagree. And also, too, with Embiid, you look at Embiid last
and
night.
and then another thing goes back to huge, like I said. One of them's 7 years younger than the other.
I agree, but that
And-
that was the thing I was worried about initially.
And another
Yeah.
another thing is Simmons is under contract for much longer than Harden is.
Right. The extension, yeah.
You know, this does, like I said, you don't have to trade Simmons in this deal. What if in a year or two, another trade scenario, whatever, something else opens up down the line?
Because I want a championship now. I've waited long
But
enough.
Harden's not the guy to do that.
I don't know that.
I
But here's the
disagree.
thing. I don't know that Harden's not the guy, but I'm starting to believe Ben Simmons is not the guy. And
I
I feel like we need a stronger person behind Embiid. And I want to go back to your point about the shooting. Embiid is pretty efficient. Like last night, he scored 45 on 23 shots,
Yeah.
which is
mean,
and
but-
he shot
but
16 to 23
But
when he
yeah,
did it.
yeah, but he also, had 13 points at the free throw line.
Right.
So let's knock that down. So he had 32 points on 23 shots.
Yeah, but because he gets to the line, absolutely. But I feel like with those two, I just see, like I said, I see the pick and roll offense, and I think the Sixers. What is the Sixers' biggest problem in the playoffs and big games the last couple years?
Ben
the
Simmons
biggest problem
disappears.
Right. Well, let's break that down even further. The biggest issue is you don't have a closer.
The two
you don't
biggest
have
issues,
a closer at the end of the game.
Yeah, the two biggest issues is that when it comes down to it, the twofold is teams take Ben Simmons away.
Yeah.
That's number one, as you've seen in the playoffs the last 3 years in a row.
Right.
Secondly, the other thing that you've always had at the end of the year is the issue of Embiid's fitness.
Yes.
Now, it seems early on one of the two of those issues have been resolved.
Correct.
Now, we still have a long way to go, but through the first, month or so, 4 weeks of the season,
Yeah.
looks like one of those issues have been solved. And it's not the Simmons disappearing on offense.
Yes. Which, to me, was the bigger issue.
Much bigger issue.
Because that can't happen.
I mean, your best ability is your availability.
Correct.
But it looks like that won't be an issue now.
Right.
So now the single biggest issue with the entire team, more than anything else, is number 25 putting the ball in the basket.
Facts only. And so, like I was saying, is that to me, what I always see with them the last 2.5 minutes of a game, they don't have a closer. Because I am from the school that your big man can't be your closer. Because you cannot have a guy that operates with his back to the basket as your closer. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't. Because there's just too many things that can go wrong. And what's happened is because, the Sixers have tried, because Embiid's been their best player, they've tried to use him as their closer, but it just doesn't work because, Embiid he's gotten better at it this year. I still think he needs improvement, but passing out of double teams, triple teams has always been an issue for him. And also,
He's
too,
doing that much better now.
yes, also, too, but who was he passing to? Who was he passing to before? Also,
Nobody.
Like he was, kicking out to, disrespect Josh Richardson, Al Horford, and guys like that, and like they're just not knockdown guys, knockdown shooters that guys respect. So, and then you can't kick it out to your point guard Ben Simmons. You can't do that either. So it was just always an issue the end of games. James Harden solves that problem for you. Now, I'm gonna ask you this question.
So
I know you're out on James Harden.
out.
But let's, for the sake of argument, since this is a real possibility, let's put him in the equation of you're in on James Harden. Now, James Harden, Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal.
And honestly, yeah, go ahead.
That trade you have to be much more careful with because you're trading within your division.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, Simmons is the kind of person who seems very, very, very vengeful.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm going to get Bradley Beal. I'm doing that.
Right.
You just gotta
Maybe a 3-team trade on that one.
Yeah, you just gotta be careful.
So he's not on Washington.
Yeah, you just gotta be careful
Yeah.
about trading someone like that within your division. That's like trading Carson Wentz to the Cowboys.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And like you mentioned that, and I agree with you that Ben does come off as a guy who is vengeful. And like I said, I worry about him going somewhere else and just becoming a psycho.
Like every time he comes to Philly, he does triple-double with 25, 15, and 12.
Right. But that's the thing that's frustrating is that, like, people have been talking about your game now for, like, 5 years.
He doesn't – Ben Simmons only cares about Ben Simmons. Like, he doesn't care. Like, he's – here's the issue. When I forget who asked him it was at a press conference. They said to him, they literally asked him about his shooting.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, shooting, why do I need to shoot? I've made the All-Star team twice.
Right, which was maybe the worst thing to ever happen to him. It was making All-Star team.
He Rookie of the Year, and then I think that he should be. I don't know if he'll ever actually win one, but I think he should be in the running for a top 5 Defensive Player of the Year candidate every year.
Yes.
If he were to win a Defensive Player of the Year award, you would never see him shoot ever again.
Right. And yeah, and he has that. There's a good chance that may happen. Like that might be that. Like that could happen. Like last year, he flirted with it. There were people that thought that he could win that award. I think.
Well, I think he has the potential to win the award.
I don't want to get into this too much, but I think Giannis Antetokounmpo is an overrated defender. I don't believe he's
having a bad year this year too.
I didn't think he was a great. I never have seen him as a great defender. I don't understand the reputation he gets, but whatever. But yeah, last year he flirted that a little bit last year, and I'm sure at some
and now
point
you got Embiid, his name should be in the.
I agree.
In the discussion for any award that he's eligible for.
1,000%.
MVP, defensive player, like whatever the award is that you.
Well, I don't want to get too, high on him right now, but he is playing at MVP level right now. Like no question, this is MVP Embiid. This is the level he's playing at right now.
Don't waste this season, Sixers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is that the time is now. The time is now, and like that's why like I am willing. I don't believe now that I'm okay with our young talent that is mortgaged in the future, because I don't know that Ben Simmons is our future. Because can you imagine how we're gonna feel as a city if we're having the same conversation in 5 years?
Oh God, no.
But but is that not a possibility? If we don't act, because here's the problem. If you continue waiting for him to become the guy you think he's going to become, guess what? When you finally realize he's not that guy, do you think other NBA teams haven't realized that also? So what are you going to trade him for? So now you're not getting, a future Hall of Famer. You're getting a 6 or 7 man off the bench. And the stock will continue every year with him. The stock will continue to drop. So if you look at it now from a realistic standpoint, I think that and listen, I said this before, like I said it again, I am in no way a Ben Simmons hater.
No, I like Ben Simmons.
I like Ben Simmons. I've defended Ben Simmons. I defended him for years. I said wait and see. I've been a huge wait and see guy. I see now. I can't wait anymore because Embiid, is on borrowed time. I think we all can agree with that, right? Like his body, the way his body is with his back and his knees.
Like he is going to fall off a cliff very fast. Like he's just going to come in 1 year.
Andrew Bynum.
Well, he's
been better than Andrew Bynum, but that's what's going to happen.
He's going to come in and just one day, the 1 year, he's just not going to have it anymore.
Right.
And there's just going to be.
I see him going from like 25-13 to like 12-10.
Yes.
Like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Just
like,
1 year.
He's going to come in after an off season,
and it's going to be like, what happened? Yeah, because of his body. His body is just not built for the long haul.
I agree.
So you got to capitalize on him now. I feel like you have about 5 years left of prime Embiid. So I want to maximize those years as much as possible. So I need someone that's going to complement this. And you need an assassin. You need a killer. You got to get a killer in here. And unfortunately here, and who knows what's going to happen down the line or another place, wherever it's going to be, Ben Simmons is not that killer. He's just not. And, you know, the Stephen A. report you just broke about 20 minutes ago, stating that James Harden is doing everything in his power to be reunited with Daryl Morey. Well, hell, come on home, bro. We have great restaurants here. You can't go to Tootsie's right now because it's closed, but we have great restaurants right here. We have a pretty good environment. We're like 2 hours away from New York City, so you can indulge on get your party going on off days. We have the Jersey. I bet James would love the Jersey Shore. Can you imagine James Harden down at the shore in the summertime, down in Seattle City at the OD?
Dude,
at Lacoste.
Dude, we'll have Iverson 2.0 down in AC.
James Harden in his flip-flops on the beach.
Yo, could you imagine Iverson and Harden running through TGI Fridays together?
Yo, bro. I'm sure AI is going to take very good care of James.
I would go there and eat.
They're peas in a pod.
I would go there and I would eat so many potato skins while they were there.
Well, what used to happen is when AI used to go there, he used to get a table, and he'd hang out. He'd have his friends and family, and they had board games behind the counter for him. Like he was a huge Monopoly guy and stuff. So he'd bust out Monopoly and play Monopoly and his board games while eating like mozzarella sticks and all the TGI Friday snacks. And then there were nights that you could get a Mace sighting because Mace and him were really close. So Mace might be at the table, maybe Jadakiss at the table. You never knew. Like TGI Fridays on City Line Avenue was the place to be at Sixers games.
Yeah.
You had to go there because it's a good chance AI's coming in, parking his Bentley sideways on the sidewalk.
Yes.
And sitting in the corner playing some board games. So yeah,
he lived right down the street from me.
Right. So this is a good situation for James. He gets all his vices. All I ask is you get on the court and you ball out. That's all I want from you. And listen, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of his game. However, I believe that it is the right move for the Sixers right now. Got something?
We'll get to it after the break because we're doing some Kyrie after the break.
We are.
Yeah, we got some Stephen A. news on Kyrie. We'll get to that after the break.
Oh!
Yes.
Brown Memory in the morning. Marques, Brown, Justin Memory. We'll be right back. Yes. Welcome back. Brad in the morning. Marques, Brad, Justin Emery. We were talking a lot of NBA. Ben Simmons, James Harden. Stephen A. broke news about a half an hour ago about James Harden doing everything in his power to get out of Houston and get back with Daryl Morey, who we happen to have Daryl Morey. And we were getting ready to jump into Kyrie Irving, and as luck would have it, Stephen A. has broken some news on Mr. Irving.
Yeah. Said he's spoken with Kyrie.
Personally.
I mean, he said spoken. I don't know if it was through someone. He just said his words have reached Kyrie.
Okay.
He has suggested to Kyrie that he retire.
Stephen A. has.
Stephen A. has expressed his.
Well, this is gonna. It's interesting he says that because it's gonna lend to the conversation I want to have about him. So you're saying Stephen A. reached out to Kyrie, his camp,
yeah,
and said that I feel like it's best that he retire.
He said, he's not worth it. He's not worth it at all. I expressed my feelings that he should retire. I think that he should announce his retirement today because clearly you don't want to play basketball enough. I've made my sentiments known to him and his people. Yeah.
I agree 1,000%. And it's interesting he said that 'cause I was going to bring up this conversation when it comes to him. We talked about Kyrie briefly yesterday. And it was more of a humorous discussion. I want to have a little more serious discussion today about this because everything that's happening with him now and everything that he's done throughout his career and the stops in Cleveland, the way he left Cleveland, everything that's going on with him in Boston, last year with Brooklyn, and now this situation now with him just deciding that he doesn't want to go to work anymore and not telling anyone about it. He used allegedly it was because of the Capitol incident, January 6th, but you didn't say anything to anyone about that. So who knows how true that is? You left your coach, your organization. Steve Nash literally had no idea where you were. The organization doesn't. And you brought up a great point yesterday about the agent. His agent's I don't know. And I wanted to discuss
I don't mean to interrupt. We got more Stephen A. news.
Okay, keep going.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Bring it.
He's reporting that the Nets supposedly did not even want to bring Kyrie onto the team, that the only reason that Kyrie was there is because Kevin Durant said he would not sign with the Nets if Kyrie was not part of it.
Wow.
So the
this
Nets front office had reservations about giving Kyrie the deal.
And this is and now and that being true, how bad do the Nets look now as an organization for doing that? And then how bad does Kevin Durant look? Because this was, again, I said about this yesterday, even though he doesn't need one, he wants one. He wants a redemption story. I don't understand anyone needs to be redeemed after winning 2 rings in a row and hitting 2 consecutive threes in LeBron's face. I don't know why you need a redemption story, but he wants one. He wants to prove to everyone that I can do this with my team, right? This is supposed to be his and Kyrie's team together. And Kyrie has now left him in a precarious position and looking crazy out here.
He
looking
looks really
absolute
bad.
Crazy out here. This is a nightmare. And all the mess that Kevin Durant talked, leaving Golden State about that saying about that team and things he didn't like and how it was Steph's team and he never thought he was part of the team. And then that interview that he did on his podcast with Kyrie over the summer, where Kyrie made some inflammatory comments about LeBron, which I thought were pot shots and unnecessary and ridiculous. They kind of put themselves on an island. And then, they come out, they played really well the first couple games. They looked really good. And people automatically, they're the champ. They're coming out the East. They're coming out the East. But I was like, pump your brakes. It's 3 games in. Relax. And now look where we are. And, looking at this entire situation with everything, going on in our world today, I thought about this after the show, and this is not, I don't want this to come across in any way disrespectful, in any way I'm poking fun, because I'm really not. I think this is a case, I think Kyrie Irving has serious mental issues. I think he has mental health issues. And I think now we can't ignore that anymore, and we have to address that and say this man needs to go get himself some professional help. Like, I don't know who didn't give him enough hugs. I have no idea his personal background with his family. I'm not getting into that. But just being an outside observer of this entire situation, it is not rational to just, like, it's not rational for Jeff that works at Sunoco to just leave their job for a week and not tell anyone where they are. That's not rational for Jeff to do that at Sunoco. So an NBA basketball player with this much capital behind you, a $1 billion organization, and you just say, I don't want to play anymore. I'm out. And actually, I'm sorry, you didn't say that. You just left. No one knew where you were. And you were missing for over a week. No one knew where you were. So for you to have that kind of thought stream, like even like this show, right? Like we're doing this show together as a partnership. So we're in business together. I don't ever foresee a scenario where I don't hear from you for a week. Or a scenario where I just like, could you imagine, like we do the show from my house. Like could you imagine if you came here one day and the door was just locked and you just knocked and I just didn't answer? And
I would be so confused.
This happened for a consistent week. Like,
I'd be very confused.
Like, could you, like, you're standing with the equipment outside, and it's just, you're like, you maybe even hear the TV on the background, and I just don't come to the door. Like, that's, like, we're trying to tread line because, like, that's comical to think about because it's so ridiculous, insane. But that's what this man is doing. That's what he's doing in real time.
But and the thing is he said so much crazy stuff over the years that like I just disregard him now.
Right,
like,
right.
I'm just numb to everything that he sat here, okay, and said over and over and over again that the earth is flat.
Yes. He's a flat earther.
This is coming from someone who is from Australia. So by his logic, where are you from?
Yeah. Where are you at, dog?
You're welcome to say that anytime. Like, he's welcome to say whatever he wants. Like, if he wants to go out there and say that, I'm not going to stop him from saying that.
Right.
But it will stop me from seeking advice from you.
1,000%. Or aligning myself in business with you.
Yeah, I will stop me
but that's the problem. You have all these, like, how does Nike feel right now? Like, Nike has a lot of money invested in him. Like, he's gone completely off the rails.
Team USA has a lot invested in him. He's like on the team, the USA.
Yeah,
he does a lot of the stuff for Team USA branding.
Kyrie Irving is one of the faces of the NBA. He's one of the faces of the NBA, and you got a like this isn't like the 6th, 7th man on the bench doing this. Like this would be a story if Furkan Korkmaz did this. But obviously, when you have a name as Kyrie Irving, this is a major deal. But I'm gonna stay focused and go back to what I said originally. Is that like this cannot no longer be ignored as anything else but mental health issues. This guy needs to go get some help. Something is not right. Something is wrong.
And let me hypothetically say that that's not the issue. What if he just doesn't care?
I still think that, but I think that having that outlook, and when you can just be like, screw everybody, when you have all of these people depend on you, I believe that is a sign of mental deficiencies. That's still a sign of that. If you can just say, yeah, I know I'm supposed to be at work. I know I'm supposed to be doing such and such. I know I'm not supposed to be like. Now listen, we still haven't had the word if that was that was from this week where he was out, at the club for the birthday. We have no idea if that's from the week. But if it was from this week, and like imagine like someone brought this up. I want to take credit for this because it made me think. But someone brought this up yesterday. I forget who it was, but if he was out in that environment during that time a couple days ago, he was out for a birthday party, maskless. How would you feel if you're Karl Anthony Towns?
Yeah, like
Karl Anthony Towns lost his mom, his dad got sick, he lost I think his aunt also, and he had, like his family was ravaged by COVID-19. Like, how do you look at that man in the face and you're obviously not taking this seriously when I have people that's literally lost their lives because of this. Like, how do I justify that? Like, and the thing about Kyrie,
that was like when Rudy Gobert did everything.
The mics,
and then he went and got Donovan Mitchell sick.
Mm-hmm. And that took a while to patch up.
Like, it took them months.
It took them months to patch it up.
It took them months before they even talked to each other.
Right, and honestly, the only it took I think the Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd incident for them to kind of come together as black men to figure that out and unite. But if those events don't happen, I don't know they do. But yeah, you're absolutely, like, you look at that, like, how in the world do you look at him? And, like, the thing is, Kyrie has put himself on such an island by himself.
Yeah.
And, like, LeBron, and the thing about LeBron has tried from day one to be a big brother to Kyrie Irving. That's all he wanted to do. All he wanted to do. I will say this about LeBron. LeBron's circle, if you get into LeBron's circle and you are inside that inner circle, he takes care of you. And he treats you like family. Like the truest form of family. He takes care of you. And all he has wanted was to make Kyrie a part of that family. He tried in Cleveland, even after he left Cleveland. After he made LeBron look crazy with that, I want to trade, I don't want to play with him anymore, I want to do my own thing. Even after that, LeBron still didn't go at him publicly. He didn't do it. He said, okay. When Kyrie allegedly called him and said, yo, I messed up. I'm now here in Boston. I see how difficult it is to be a leader. When he made that phone call to him, LeBron still didn't, okay. LeBron's first comments publicly negatively about Kyrie was on Richard Jefferson's podcast regarding the comments that Kyrie made about him over the summer.
In response to something that was said about him.
In response to him saying Kevin Durant's the first guy he feels comfortable in clutch situation, which is absolutely absurd and disrespectful. So Kyrie's put himself all over here by himself. There's no one's even going to call him and be like, yo, dog. Yo, you good? You okay? You all right? And this is why it's super important who you surround yourself with. Because if I'm Kyrie's friend, I'm like, bro, are you good? What's going on? Like, do we need to talk about something? And I'm calling you out, like, bro, you can't just leave the team for a week and not tell anyone. You can't do that. That's not okay. Like, if something is really wrong with you and you need to separate yourself and you need a break, okay, let's work on that. But you got to tell someone. Can you talk to the janitor? Tell him to pass a message on to Steve? Like, can you talk to somebody? Like, you can't just leave. Like, but you need people in your circle that's going to be okay standing up to you and saying those things to you. Like, you got to have those guys around you. And, like, if you don't, this is the kind of stuff that happens. They make you. It's okay because they're not saying anything. But I personally believe this is definitely signs of mental health issues. And, like, I agree with Stephen A 1,000%. If this is how you feel about your career, maybe this is not the career for you.
I mean, you've made more than enough money.
You don't have to do this. Like, this is like you've now it's really messed up because, like, I haven't looked at his contract, but I'm sure he has millions of dollars guaranteed to him by the Nets coming his way.
Oh yeah, I'll pull it up real quick.
So, I'm sure there's millions of dollars on the table for him. But yeah, because of that, yeah, you can walk away. You can walk away. You don't need to be here. You don't need to do this. And, like, if you want to be like he apparently was a guy that did not want to go into the bubble because he thought it wasn't a thing to do because of everything going on in the world. And I'm not going to hold that against him. That's his opinion. I get it. I know he didn't want to go into the bubble. I see both sides of that. I get that. But this is not like the way. Like, if you want to go be an activist, go be Colin Kaepernick then. But actually do it all the way. If that's how you feel, that's commendable. Go do it. Go all the way then. Leave the team. Say, I'm out. I want to go be an activist. Okay, go do that. But what's happening right now is this back and forth, sip and slide, back peekaboo. I see you. You don't see
Oh,
me.
wow.
It's got to stop. What we got?
Kyrie signed a 4-year, $136 million contract.
All guaranteed?
That's fully guaranteed.
Oh my goodness. I mean that so and you know how the NBA is. The NBA, and that's why the process to me had to happen is the way the NBA does their salary caps. Like you can't just get out of things.
I don't even have anything else.
That's crazy.
We're going to a break.
That's crazy. We're gonna take a break.
We're going to a break after that.
And when we come back, I wanna talk a little football. I wanna ask you a question about Brian Westbrook.
Okay, and we also have some Sean Payton chiming in on the Philadelphia football team.
Ooh, okay, I like it. All right.
You probably won't like it.
Brad Emery in the morning. Marques Bradham, Justin Emery. We will be right back. Yeah. Brad Emery in the morning. Marques Bradham, Justin Emery.
Yep.
First, before we get started, I want to talk to you about my friends at Uncle Mike's. Uncle Mike's, as you know, as I've said for the past couple of days, best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality gourmet ice cream and sorbet. They have sundaes, they have shakes, special order ice cream, cakes, and pies. They are located at 537 York Road, Warminster, and open all year round. Hey, go see Uncle Mike's. Happiness, one scoop at a time.
Definitely go there. I got one of their peanut butter milkshakes.
Yeah?
It didn't make it out of the parking lot.
There you go. I actually switched it up. I got a sundae from them.
Oh, yeah?
I'm not usually a sundae guy, but it was a great decision.
Well,
There's
nice.
a lot of things happening there.
Also, usually do it at the top of the show. Forgot to do it at the top of the show, so I'll do it real quick in our last segment.
Yeah.
22 years ago today, your GOAT retired for the second time. I noticed I said your GOAT, not my GOAT.
Yeah, my GOAT.
Your GOAT retired for the second time 22 years ago today.
Name the team with the last team to play against.
Oh, I don't know.
Your Philadelphia 76ers.
Really?
Yep.
You know what? Now that you said that, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've heard I've heard that before.
Ian in Philly. Yep.
With the Bulls, right?
Wizards.
No, this is 99 retire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no,
okay.
this is the
okay. You're
99.
talking about with the
Yes.
hand. Yeah. With
This is the 1999 retire.
yeah, this was a big one. This was the
This was
okay.
the
yeah,
one.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sean Payton, speaking about the football team.
Yeah, the Philadelphia football team.
What does he have to say?
When asked about, apparently, I'm not too familiar exactly. Apparently the Eagles do something very unique with their long snapper.
Okay.
That most other teams don't do. I didn't get a chance to read the entire story during the segment, so I didn't get to the very bottom of it.
Okay.
But the reporters asked him, because whatever the issue is, there's apparently some injuries with the special teams unit for the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked Sean Payton if he was going to do what the Eagles do with their special teams, whatever that is. Sean Payton said, quote, "No, trust me, we're not looking at Philadelphia for a blueprint on anything."
We're just gonna leave that there. Brian Westbrook. Brian Westbrook in 2016 for the first year was a.
You just glossed over that.
I'm
You're
not
like,
going to deal with that. Brian Westbrook in 2016.
He's not
was,
wrong.
No, he's not, and I don't want to talk about it. In 2016 was for the first year was on the Hall of Fame ballot. This year, he recently tweeted a couple of weeks ago, kind of politicking to be in the Hall of Fame. In your opinion, is Brian Westbrook a Hall of Famer?
No. Just flat out no. I mean, so I'm gonna try. I'm gonna tread very lightly here.
Okay.
Okay. Because I don't want to come off as disrespectful, but I also don't want to come off as hating either.
Right.
Talk about the definition of an overrated player.
You think Brian Westbrook's overrated?
And I've said this when he was a player, too.
I think he's an overachiever. I don't think he's overrated. This has opened up a whole different can of worms.
Yeah, I mean, he was a good player.
Agreed, yeah.
You know, he was a good player. But, I mean, come on. With just off the top of my head, I can give you 5 to 7 guys during his era that were significantly better than him that probably won't make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but I think that's unfair.
I'll be honest. I don't even know if he. I don't know if he belongs in the Eagles Hall of Fame.
All right, now you're being disrespectful. You're being disrespectful now. Stop it.
Who would you rather have for LaShawn McCoy or Brian Westbrook?
Why do I have to choose? Why can't they both go?
But I'm saying,
LaShawn McCoy, but that's not fair to Brian Westbrook because what Brian Westbrook was asked to do was very different than what LaShawn McCoy was asked to do. Like Brian Westbrook, for the first 3 to 4 years of his career, was basically asked to just be like a third down back and a specialist. He wasn't asked to be, I hate using this phrase, but the bell cow. I hate saying that. But anyway, the bell cow. He wasn't asked to do that.
He was part of the three-headed monster with Buckhalter, Staley, and
right in the beginning. That's how it started.
I got to go off on Deuce too. That might be for tomorrow.
Yeah, let's say that for tomorrow. He might. Yeah, he was asked to three-headed monster there, and then he was never asked to really carry the load. So, but when Brian Westbrook was at his best, he was special, and he made the Eagles' offense special. So, while I agree with you, I don't believe he's a Hall of Famer. I don't. I think that's a reach. But I think also maybe that's because he just didn't get the touches that he needed to get those numbers. Because those first 3
he's
or
just
4
not
years,
a Hall of Famer. Like,
I don't know. I don't know ability-wise if I can say he's not a Hall of Famer.
Here's how I look at I judge the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And it's becoming way too watered down, in my opinion.
I agree.
You should know if someone's a Hall. Like, if you say to yourself, "Is this person a Hall of Famer?" If you have to ask that question, then they're not. You should know by looking at it if they're a Hall of Famer. And the perfect example of that is Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson, statistically, probably far down as far as Hall of Famers go. Is there any doubt, though, that when you watched him,
No.
he should be in the Hall of Fame?
No doubt at all. No doubt.
And that's why another person that I think
Calvin Johnson is the greatest physical specimen I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
On a football field.
Another person who I think should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, Luke Kuechly.
Yes.
I think that you can just look at him and say, all right, I don't care how long he played.
Right.
He belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Westbrook does not do a Hall of Famer jumps off the screen at you.
I'm with you.
And Westbrook doesn't do that.
I'm with you.
Westbrook,
I don't
mean,
believe
he was a good player.
Yes.
A Pro Bowl player.
Right.
But just like I said about Ben Simmons, there's a difference between an All-Star player and a superstar player.
Right.
There's a difference between a Pro Bowl player and a Hall of Fame player.
I'm with you on that. I
Westbrook is to running backs what McNabb was to quarterbacks.
No,
On the outside looking in.
I think you can make a better case for McNabb for the Hall of Fame than you can for Westbrook.
No,
I don't think you can make any case for Westbrook. I think you can make a case for McNabb.
No. Because if we're talking numbers, I've used this argument before. If we're talking numbers, what's your argument for McNabb? Numbers, he has good numbers?
The numbers are there.
Okay.
I mean, he has better numbers than Troy Aikman.
Okay, yes. But if we're going off of numbers, there is someone playing right now who you probably don't think is a Hall of Famer that has to be before him if we're talking numbers.
Okay, who's that?
Matt Ryan has almost double McNabb's career stats. So if we're talking numbers, Matt Ryan has to be a shoo-in ballot Hall of Famer.
But here's the problem, Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan isn't as accomplished as Donovan McNabb is.
I mean, he made it to a Super Bowl.
He did, but
multiple Pro Bowlers. He has a league MVP award. McNabb does not have that.
But he could have.
You could have.
You look at that. You look at that era where McNabb was at his best. Listen,
I'm not trying to get this into a Matt Ryan, Donovan McNabb
but
debate.
2004, I don't know who won the MVP. 2004, but McNabb very well could have won the MVP 2004.
I mean, he could have, but he didn't.
You're right. But I believe that one doesn't listen. There are a lot. There's a lot of guys.
I'm not trying to do this in Matt Ryan McNabb debate, but
you're right.
If you're putting McNabb in the Hall of Fame, you have to put Matt Ryan in, and I don't think Matt Ryan's a Hall of Fame player.
But I don't have. But here's what I'm saying about McNabb. I'm not saying he's a sure thing Hall of Famer. I'm just saying there's an argument you could make for him being in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and I don't.
I guarantee you, in the next 5 to 10 years, there's going to be serious conversations about him being in the Hall of Fame.
And I hope not.
There will be. Brace yourself. It's happening. There's going to be conversations.
Disagree.
Listen, Matt Ryan's had a really good career. I mean, you look at a guy like Matt Stafford. He's going to have numbers that are going to make people go, oh, is he?
Yeah, but you look at Matt Ryan, he's not Matt Stafford, he's not a Hall of Famer. He doesn't jump off the screen at you.
I agree.
And I mean, I'm not
But
trying.
McNabb,
I'm not trying to be.
I feel like McNabb.
I'm not trying to be a homer when I say this, but in his first few years, Carson Wentz jumped off the screen at you. He looked like a Hall of Famer. Now these last 2 years, not so much,
But I think McNabb in his prime did jump off the screen at you. I think there were years like 2004 McNabb, 2001, 2, 3 McNabb with nobody.
Nah.
All right, whatever.
Disagree.
I'm not going to try to convince you. All right, listen, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I've had a lot of fun today as usual.
Yes, sir.
Check me out at Marques Between on all platforms.
At Justin Emery Show everywhere, but if you want to reply, only on Twitter.
Hey, reminding you once again, you can be with us, you can be against us, but you're never going to stop us.